Hello everyone again and welcome back. I'm wearing the same outfit and the same makeup and everything because, as I said in my last video, I'm filming some videos together so I can upload them more regularly. So I'm very aware that that's what I like to see, so I need to make sure I upload videos regularly on a regular basis. I'm going to try and pick like 2 days a week where I upload videos, but I'm not entirely sure which ones. So if you have a preference on what days you like to see videos, let me know and I'll try and do those days. So today's video is going to be about Independent Bookshop Week and the book crawl that I did. I did do one on the first day of Independent Bookshop Week to my local bookshops more in the area, but this one I went to London for, which isn't too far away from me. It's about 2 hours, an hour and a half. And I went with my boyfriend. I have got a really tiny snippet of a vlog, 24 seconds I think it is, which I might try and push on to the end of this or something. But yes, so to start off with, we had a plan. I've got a little notepad here where I planned everything. Paper chase, gotta love them, gotta love a notepad. So the plan was for the day to go straight to Notting Hill. We were going to do Book and Kitchen, Lewontin's, Luton's and Rubinstein, the Isle of Book Academy, which I think is actually shut now, which is really awkward, so we didn't go there, Book Warehouse, Biscuit Ears, which is somewhere I'll show you in a second, some more information, and Books for Cooks in that area. Then we're going to go to Word on the Water, which I just recently found out from Jen Campbell's channel. They're in France, so obviously we didn't visit them. And then we're going to go to Charing Cross to do all the bookshops down that road. So that was the plan, and this is what we actually did. I'll show you on my little... I've got my independent bookshop map here. Those are the ones I did in that area, all ticked. And then we went over, and we did some more in this area. So you can see a lot of them was visited. I was going to try and buy a book in every single bookshop, which is a bit of a laugh because I would have spent a lot of money if I did that. So I didn't. However, I did buy quite a lot anyway. I'll show you my pile now. There. So I'll go through it now. I picked up another independent bookshop map to stick on my wall. I'm going to put it somewhere on the door behind me, and I'm going to like cross them off every time I visit so I can have a little cross-off map. So that. So I'm going to try and go in an order, but I'm not entirely sure if I can remember what I did, even though it was just yesterday. But the first bookshop we went to was the Book Warehouse. I've never heard of the Book Warehouse. This is their... I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. It's okay. Book Warehouse. I've never heard of them before because we don't have them where I live. We have the Works, which is something I'm going to consider they're kind of similar. So it's discounted books. You can shop online as well, which I might have a go at. They have it in Holborn, in Camden, in Golders Green, in Notting Hill, Islington and Waterloo. So there's quite a few of them. And from there I picked up a lovely copy of 1984 by George Orwell. You can't even see what it is on the... I like this. You can just about see if you like catch the light and have a look. But I absolutely love this copy of it. I think it's really interesting and really nice that you can just see it there. I read Animal Farm by George Orwell, demolished it in a day. It's a very short, easy read, and I thought it was absolutely lovely, very thought-provoking, and it has a really nice... you get a lot from the book. I'm still thinking about it to this day, like how I feel about it and everything. So I picked up this, because another George Orwell, why not? I don't actually know what it's about. That is really super bad. I didn't study this at uni or school, obviously. So we shall see. I like going into books not knowing what they're about sometimes. This one, I'm reading the back, and something about shooting me. I'm not entirely sure. That's really bad. I'm sorry, everyone. But I will read this soon, and I'll get back to you on that. So that is the first one. The next place that I think I went to, but I'm not entirely sure, is the Notting Hill Bookshop, which is in Notting Hill. It's not on the independent bookshop map, so I'm not entirely sure if it's an independent bookshop, although I think it is. And it was really lovely, actually. It was a cute little bookshop. They gave me that, and there's a little bookmark to go in here. And I bought Swamplandia by Karen Russell. I have read, if you remember the name now, St. Lucy's Homes, St. Lucy's School for Girls, something like that. And it's got a wolf on the front. I can't remember exactly, but it's short stories and magical realism short stories, which I actually really enjoyed. This was recommended by Mercy at Mercy's Bookish Musings, and I really like, generally speaking, I really like what she reads, so I thought I'd pick it up and I'd enjoy it as well. I liked Karen Russell's writing style from the other book that I read, but I can't remember the name of it. If you remember, put it below. Yeah, I like the front cover as well. I think that's really lovely. And this is not a short story collection. This is actually a novel set in Florida in an alligator park. So I've never read anything particularly about alligators, so it will be really nice. I'll read that next. Then I went to this shop. I forgot my little tote bag they gave me, which is super cute. They gave me this, which is, I can't pronounce the first name. I asked my mum to pronounce it earlier so I'd remember it. And do you think I can remember these things? Nah, my brain just in and out. Anyway, Luetiens and Rubenstein. What's wrong with me? But that is, I love typewriters, so this is right up my alley. But she gave that to me, which I thought was really nice. I told her that I was doing the bookshop crawl, and she chatted to me for ages. So I ended up buying 2 books from there. I only meant to buy 1 book from each bookshop, but there you go. These things happen. So I bought The Circle by Dave Eggers, which was recommended to me by Eloise, the book therapy that I did last week in Colchester, and this sounds super cool, so I thought I'd pick this up. This is Sunday Times best summer read of 2014, and it's about the circle that runs everything on the internet, and it's kind of, I get the feeling that it's kind of Big Brother-esque, so it's all about the virtual world and everything, so the world that I've just taken part of. Thank you. I hope it's not as like the story in here. But yeah, it sounds really interesting. And there's something dark behind everything. So there's discovering a sinister truth at the heart of the organisation seeking to remake the world in its image. So this sounds really cool. It kind of reminds me of that film. It was a film about computers and how when the computers stop working, then the whole world stops working. And things are run by the internet and stuff now. That's just the facts of things. So yeah, I'm really interested to read this, and I love the cover. Look, how cool is this? Ooh, I love that. I love when things are a little bit different and interesting. And they also gave me a little bookmark there. There it is. So yeah, I really recommend going to the bookshop because they're really, really nice people. So that is the first book I got from them. And the second book is Ian Pear's Arcadia, which Jane Campbell spoke about it, and said something along the lines of it was a little bit like Northern Lights. Straight away had to pick it up. Love the Northern Lights. I studied that at university, and they're just absolutely fantastic, the books. And this is about a missing cat, and Rosie, the girl, goes to see where the missing cat is, and then finds herself in a different world. So it sounds a bit magical realism-y, maybe fantasy, I'm not entirely sure. Again, I don't like knowing exactly what the book's like before I go into the book, because I like to be a little bit surprised. But the cover is gorgeous, really gorgeous. It sounds really good. It's a bit of a chunky book, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those books you get sucked into, so you don't want it to stop. So the fact that it's chunky is a good thing. So yeah, I've got that. I'm really excited. Really, really excited to read that. It's definitely going to be on my I'm going to do a July TBR, so it's definitely going to be on that. The next place that I went to was not a bookshop, but I thought I'd mention it on this channel because they were so lovely in there and I absolutely loved it. I'm going to keep saying love again. And that is the Biscuit Ears, and I've picked up one of their leaflets about icing classes. Biscuit Ears are a company in, they've got 2 shops, one in Notting Hill and another one, I'm not entirely sure where it is, but it's somewhere in London again. And they basically make biscuits and ice them. And they ice biscuits in different, so you've got the first aid kit with all the biscuits inside that look like bandages and stuff like that. You've got the Marvel characters, you've got teachers, you've got everything that you could think of they make biscuits out of, which is actually fantastic. So Joe and I went there and we both had a drink and we both picked out a biscuit. They're £3 each to buy and eat in the shop, which is quite pricey, but they're all hand iced. I got a lovely flamingo, which I might put a picture of it on my Twitter because it's so cute. I didn't want to eat it. Where do you start eating a flamingo? Like, I ate its head first and Joe made a comment about how that's horrible. No, I ate its feet first and Joe was like, that's horrible, how could you do that? Kill it first, eat its head. And I was like, no, it's so gross. But yeah, it's absolutely really cool. But you can go in there and you can pay, which I'm going to do, I'm going to suggest it to my friends. You pay £15, which is a bit pricey, but it is like a nice afternoon out. And you get 3 biscuits and you get to ice them and you get to learn about icing and stuff like that, which I think is really nice. It's a really nice thing to do. And if you're only having 3 biscuits, it's not a lot of calories, guys. It's okay. It's fine. But yeah, so I'll just show you some pictures inside. There you go. So nice. You can do it with some fizz as well. They do, which is, everyone loves a little bit of champagne or prosecco. So that is the Biscuit Ears, and that is literally across the road from something and Rubenstein's. That's how I'm going to call it now. Literally across the road. So you've got that. Then we went to Books for Cooks, and I just got this little postcard because I really liked it. I'm not really a cooking person. I wish I could cook more. The only cookbook that I am interested in getting is Lean in 15, just because the protein pancakes sound amazing. But yeah, this is just a postcard from them because I didn't buy anything. I was trying to stick to a wish list. I've got a little wish list on Amazon, and I wrote the books in here of the books that I wanted to buy, so I was trying to stick to that and not going too off of that, because I knew the books that I wanted to get and I didn't want to spend money on books just for the sake of buying books. So yeah, that was that. Then I went to Book and Kitchen, where I looked. They've got a really interesting collection of books, and there was some that I wanted to buy, but again I was trying to stick to my wish list, which was really difficult because they had African literature, which I want to read more of. I've got The Colour Purple up there and Americana somewhere along here if you can see it. Like the video if you can see Americana. And yeah, I want to read that soon. But I decided to pick this up because it was on my wish list and because I need to read it, and I haven't read it yet, and I keep delaying it because it's so expensive, $16.99. But I bought it, treat day, and that is Mouse by Art Spiegelman. I can't believe I forgot that name. And this is really interesting. It's a depiction of the Jews as mice and the cats are the Nazis, hence the picture. And it's a comic with all the artwork inside. It's all black and white. I think you can get a colour copy, which I would have preferred. So it is really, I mean, it's pretty plain, the artwork. There's nothing fancy going on, but I think for the topic you don't need anything fancy. It's the winner of prize as well. Again, I've heard so many things about it. Being the granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor, I hear a lot of stories, and I can make a video about that if you want me to. Comment about it and I will make a video about that sort of stuff if you want. I try and listen to a lot of stories when I hear and when I see literature and stuff about the Holocaust, but sometimes it's too much when you're listening to it from people, like their first-hand accounts and stuff. So read it in my own time, my own space, so not just being completely immersed in the subject and actually taking it in fully, if you understand what I mean at all. I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I've got this, which I think is really important and is taught in schools, I believe, in some places. We didn't learn it, but I think it is. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. Rant over. The next books are, I went into any amount of books. Down that road, there's loads and loads of bookshops. We went into Magma, which is more of a art kind of, I thought it was going to be more of a graphic novel shop, but there are graphic novels, but I was looking for Sex Criminals Volume 3, which I couldn't find anywhere, because they don't sell comics like that, they just sell graphic novels. But there's other bookshops along that road. I really recommend having a look. If you haven't got anything particular in mind and you're just browsing, there's loads of books. There's also a bookshop, 2 bookshops that we went past. I can't remember the names right now, but I will talk about it if you want. Again, put a comment below and I'll talk about the bookshops in more depth. But they had like witchcraft books and stuff like that, which I am interested in. But we had a mission that day to pick up the books on my wish list. So we went past those, we went in and we came out of those bookshops pretty quickly. But the one, any amount of books, had books outside, all £1 each. So I couldn't really say no when I saw this, which is The Lonely Hearts Travel Club, Destination India by Katie Collins. I really want to go to India, and one of my old housemates is going to India this summer, and I'm really jealous. So what I thought I'd do, she's probably not watching this, so I might gift this to her, but I'd quite like to read it too. And it's just about exploring India and how different places, and I think it's the Lonely Hearts Club, which is so a character, Georgia Green, is travelling by herself, which is something that I would not do because I like travelling with people, but I am envious of those that do travel by themselves. And yeah, somebody wrote, Holly Martin has got a quote on the back, Bridget Jones goes backpacking, which sounds really nice, actually. It just sounds really interesting, and I think I'm going to read it. It'll be a quick read. So I have that. And then, lastly, I went to Foyles. As you do on a book crawl, you end up in Foyles, which is one of my favourite bookshops in the world. And I picked up Fen by Daisy Johnson, which was half price, which was a good steal. I've seen a couple of people speak about this book, and it sounds absolutely amazing. It's about real people live their lives in a liminal land, and it's based on English folklore and contemporary. And it just sounds, I read the book, and one bit that sucked me up in particular says, so here a teenager may starve herself into a shape of an eel. A house might fall in love with a girl. A woman might give birth to well, what? That sounds really good. I love a bit of magical realism. Sounds good. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit like Metamorphosis by Kafka, but we'll see what happens. Again, really excited to read this. And the last book I got, I know, so many books, all of the books over here, is Barbara the Slut and Other People. This is, I didn't realise, short stories, and I might use this for the next pick for our book club for July. I don't know whether to read it first and then decide whether we're going to use it in July, or if you would like to leave a comment down below thinking that we should read this. The month's topic is feminism, so I thought this might be an interesting one for it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, as I was talking about, as I found out this is short stories, and I found that out from Nicola at Robotnik, because around one of the tables around Foyles where all the graphic novels were, Eleanor from Eleanor Reed's book, Nicola, Robotnik, Darles Chickens at Flamingo Reads, I've got this written down, so I'm just looking at my list because there's lots of people there. Catelyn from Cool Cat Kitty, Janet, who doesn't have a YouTube, I believe, and Jenny from Sunny Sweet Pea, who I've just subscribed to now. She's absolutely lovely. And they're all around the table and they were talking about all the books, which was amazing. So I got to meet all of you guys. So hi if you're watching. Really, really nice to meet you. I was a bit starstruck, to be honest. It was really weird when you watch someone on YouTube and you get to see them like suddenly there. And they were telling me about all the different editing systems they use, so that was interesting. Mainly Mac, and I don't have a Mac unfortunately, but I might see if I can get this like a different kind of editing system similar to that. And they were absolutely lovely. I had a particularly talk to Nicola and Eleanor, both very, very lovely people. I will put links to their channels down below, and they were lovely. Really, really nice to meet all of you, and I hope we stay in touch soon. And yeah, so that was, I ended up at Foyles. We did Notting Hill and around Charing Cross area, and then we had to leave quite quickly from Foyles, unfortunately, so I couldn't stay and talk for very long because we had a whiskey tasting booked with my boyfriend for a late Valentine's Day present, which was really interesting actually. They gave us three different whiskies. I don't like whiskey particularly at all, so I felt really bad when he kept asking, he was asking everyone in the room like, what whiskies do you drink? And I was like, I like wine, I don't like whiskey, sorry. But he gave us cheese and whiskey, which is apparently, they don't do that anywhere else. So I was at the Capital Hotel next to Harrods. Joe enjoyed it, which was the main reason for going. And that was the end to our independent bookshop crawl. We went home a little bit drunk and very happy with books. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my video. Sorry it's so long, should have warned you to get a cup of tea at the beginning. But that was Independent Bookshop Week. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did do some of the challenges within Independent Bookshop Week, so I might make a separate video about that, or I might just upload the pictures on Twitter or something, because I didn't do all of them. For example, Father's Day, my dad doesn't read, so I can't really get him books, unfortunately. Yeah, so that is it. Have a lovely week. I will speak to you all soon. If you have any videos requests, please let me know, as I'm new to this, so if you want to see a particular thing, just write down below, and I'll speak to you all lovely people soon. Have a lovely week. Bye. Hello lovely people. So we're on our book crawl now. It's the 25th of September, the last day of Independent Bookshop Crawl. We've just been to the Book Warehouse, and now we're going to Leighton's and Rubenstein with Joe. Say hi. Hello. And yeah, first day, our first bookshop, proper bookshop we're going to, independent one. And we're just trying not to get killed by the cars. So I'll update you soon. Bye everyone.